The film opens with a striking image: men and animals toiling under the scorching sun as they struggle to build a road leading away from the royal castle. Tension rises when one exhausted creature collapses from the brutal workload. A nearby guard, irritated by the interruption, harshly orders the animal to continue dragging the heavy equipment. Before he can force it up, a shadow sweeps across the construction site. A figure drops from above, swift, fearless, and unexpected. In a blur of movement, she disarms the guard and frees the animals from their restraints. It is Elphaba. Without hesitation, she dismantles the guard's defenses, taking them down with sharp precision. But as more soldiers rush in, she leaps onto her enchanted broom and launches herself into the sky, vanishing into the clouds. Word of her defiance spreads like wildfire. Citizens whisper her name with a mixture of awe and dread, bracing for whatever she might do next. But far from the noise, Elphaba lives in isolation, hoping to one day reveal her true intentions and expose the lies the Wizard of Oz has woven about her. As she stares at the distant horizon, her mind drifts to Glinda, now adored by nearly everyone in Oz and admired openly by Prince Fiero. Elsewhere, Madame Morrible summons Glinda for a private meeting. She warns her that Elphaba's rising presence is stirring unrest throughout Oz, insisting that only Glinda can calm the people. To strengthen her influence, Morrible gifts Glinda a new form of travel, a floating bubble. Glinda excitedly presses every button she sees, much to Morrible's irritation. Morrible explains that the bubble's mechanics will help her appear magical, and that the citizens should continue believing her powers come naturally. She also hands Glinda a wand, prompting memories of Glinda's childhood, her birthday, the rainbow she once believed she created, and the gentle reassurance from her mother that love mattered more than magic. Soon, Glinda is soaring to the grand opening ceremony in her bubble. The citizens cheer louder than ever as she announces the unveiling of the yellow brick road. With festivities underway, Morrible announces that Fiero has been promoted to captain of the Gale Force and tasked with capturing the so-called Wicked Witch. Fiero is stunned to also learn that he is now engaged to Glinda. Meanwhile, bizarre rumors spread about Elphaba, claiming she has a cursed soul, an extra eye, and can be destroyed only by holy water. Frustrated, Fiero considers leaving it all behind, but Glinda reminds him that the entire kingdom watches their every move. He accuses her of enjoying the attention, but decides to stay, kissing her before walking away. Glinda, feeling the weight of everyone's happiness resting on her shoulders, sings of dreams and despair as the wizard suddenly appears, twisting the truth to maintain the crowd's trust. Deep in the forest, the Gale Force troops pursue Elphaba with the help of a winged monkey, but she cleverly outwits them. Believing she has vanished, they retreat. Hidden among the trees, Elphaba reflects on her shattered relationships with Glinda and Fiero. Meanwhile, Nessarose becomes governor, immediately enforcing a strict animal mobility law. Bach warns her that Munchkinland will not accept it, but she refuses to listen. She forces him to leave, and soon, travelers, including Bach, are being detained by guards for lacking a permit. Elphaba wanders through the woods as frightened animals flee Oz. Hoping to recruit them, she tries to convince the winged monkeys and other creatures to stay. She reunites with Gooseberry, who explains they left because of her. Elphaba pleads that Oz beyond its borders is barren and empty, but Gooseberry reveals that no one can find peace unless Elphaba is gone. She defends herself, admitting she once unknowingly helped create the flying monkeys, but was tricked into doing so. Feeling betrayed, the animals abandon her through a hidden tunnel. At the same time, Bach lashes out at Nessarose for forcing him to remain in Oz. When he attempts to leave, he notices Glinda's engagement announcement, sending him into deeper frustration. Elphaba visits Nessarose, asking for help, but her sister resents her absence, especially after their father died. Elphaba explains that their father despised her, then agrees to help Nessa relive the happiness of their school days. Using her spellbook, Elphaba casts an enchantment allowing Nessarose to float. Just then, Bach enters, stunned to see Elphaba. He declares he must confess his feelings to Glinda before it's too late. Misinterpreting everything, Nessarose panics and reads a spell incorrectly, shrinking Bach's heart until he collapses. Elphaba orders Nessarose to step aside as she desperately searches for a reversal spell, ultimately saving Bach, though he now lives without a human heart. Later, Bach returns in a metallic body, transformed and enraged. Nessarose blames Elphaba, deepening the rift. Determined, Elphaba seeks out Glinda, who is preparing for her wedding. A crack in the window reveals Elphaba outside, prompting Glinda to let her in. When she offers to mediate with the wizard, Elphaba disappears, choosing to confront him directly. Face to face with the wizard and trailed closely by Glinda, Elphaba demands he confess to the kingdom that he has no real magical power and cannot read the grimoire. She admits she once admired him, but now understands the truth. The wizard admits that being idolized is intoxicating and invites her to join him. Glinda adds that together they could win any battle, but Elphaba refuses unless they free every trapped animal and stop using them as scapegoats. The wizard agrees and gives her a key. When she opens the gate, the monkeys rush to freedom, but Chistry reveals another hidden chamber full of imprisoned creatures. Glinda proceeds to her wedding, while Elphaba sneaks into the animal-holding chambers. The wizard corners her again, claiming some animals cannot be trusted. Fiyero, sensing something is wrong, hesitates during his vows. Furious, Elphaba frees all the creatures, causing chaos in the wedding hall. The wizard tries to escape, but she blocks him with her broom. Fiyero arrives with a gun drawn, only to hand the broom back to Elphaba and point the weapon at the wizard instead. He locks the wizard in a cage. Glinda witnesses the moment and is shocked when Fiyero announces he's leaving with Elphaba. Heartbroken, she misunderstands, assuming a secret romance. Morrible arrives mid-disaster, and Glinda suggests using Nessarose to lure Elphaba into a trap. At Elphaba's home, she and Fiyero finally confess their love and share a soaring, magical moment above the clouds. But Morrible unleashes a powerful spell over the city. A monstrous twister forms, swallowing everything in its path. Nessarose, searching for Bach, is swept into the storm. Hearing her cries, Elphaba races to help. Fiyero encounters the monkeys during the chaos. The next morning, Glinda stands among the wreckage as a house lies crushed atop Nessarose. Elphaba arrives grieving, accusing Glinda of intentionally directing the twister and giving Nessa's shoes to an undeserving girl. Glinda counters that Elphaba took what wasn't hers first. Tension escalates. Glinda slaps her, Elphaba strikes back, and they fight until soldiers interrupt them. It is a trap. When Fiyero arrives with the monkeys, he threatens to harm Glinda unless they free Elphaba. She escapes, though Fiyero surrenders and is taken. Elphaba rushes to the palace in an attempt to save him, but struggles to read the spell. Haunted by memories of her youth, she lashes out and summons an army of monkeys. Morrible and the wizard turn the entire city against her, spreading lies that she transformed a man into tin and controlled a lion. Glinda overhears the manipulation and confronts Morrible, who confesses to the twister. Glinda removes her crown and rides away. The citizens rally against Elphaba. She orders the monkeys to find Dorothy and retrieve Nessa's shoes. Dorothy is kidnapped. Glinda warns Elphaba that the people are coming. Accepting her fate, Elphaba decides to surrender. She tells Glinda she won't clear her name because the people need a villain to unite against. She hands Glinda her spellbook, urging her to use it for real change. They embrace one last time, Glinda tearfully acknowledging that Elphaba changed her life for the better. Elphaba asks for forgiveness before sending Glinda away. Hidden nearby, Glinda watches Dorothy throw water on Elphaba, melting her until only the iconic hat remains. Chistry hands Glinda a bottle that belonged to Elphaba. Glinda gives it to the wizard, who instantly recognizes it as her mother's. Realizing Elphaba was his daughter all along, Glinda orders him to leave Oz forever. Morrible is carried away by the monkeys. Later, Glinda burns the statue of the Wicked Witch before the people and declares all creatures of Oz are now welcome. Life slowly returns to the kingdom. In secret, Fiyero visits the spot where Elphaba died and discovers she is alive. Changed forever, the two escape into the wilderness together. From a rooftop, Glinda watches them depart while holding the spell book. Both women reflect on how their lives shaped one another, for better, for good. And with that, the story draws to a close. Please remember to subscribe for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.